might be a tiny bit sick, but that's not gonna stop me. So let's go through every change each team has to make them even better than they already are, or to just absolutely fix them if they're just a dog shit team. Like, this can be a driver change, this can be a change specific to that team, or pretty much anything that will make sense. Or it's funny to me because it's my channel and I get to decide. Got any complaints? Put them in the comments. Put your own fucking list in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like whilst you're down there and join the journey because, as I said, like literally every video, I have some crazy ideas for this channel in the next couple years. Just come along for the ride. With all of that waffle out the way, let's start off with everybody's favorite team, Ferrari. Ferrari have recently made Carlos Sainz jobless, and Christian Horner might join him. So that's like a weak chain in the armor which has been removed. Is he a weak chain? He was a good secondary driver, but Hamilton stepping in and Leclerc being Leclerc, I don't think there's any need for any driver changes. Getting rid of Hamilton? No, not possible. Getting rid of Leclerc? Well, who would want to do that? It's Charles Leclerc. And getting rid of Fred Vasseur, the team principal? That's also not an option, because pretty much the only reason why Hamilton joined Ferrari is because of Fred Vasseur. He even said that if Fred Vasseur wasn't the team principal, he wouldn't be joining. They've been friends for ages, since GP2 days. GP2 engine days. Yes, those days. So what exactly can Ferrari change? Well, Carlos Sainz being a small chink in the armor, their strategies are just a big black hole. So let's say we removed every single person that does the whole strategies, pit stop changes, tire changes, and got Guido from Lightning McQueen. Wouldn't that just be absolutely phenomenal? Tire changes would be like sub 2 seconds. Yes, not 5 seconds, not 9 seconds, sub 2 seconds. Strategies would be on point. We wouldn't be pitting in the wet for soft tires, which is probably a thing that Ferrari have done or will done in the future. Or will do in the future. All jokes aside, Ferrari really need to pick up someone who can actually do strategies properly and not mess them up like they do pretty much on a regular basis. Let's rewind the clocks back to 2022 Monaco. Charles Leclerc starts P1, and how does he end P4 through... What happened to that race? I mean, we all know what happened, but like, come on, how can you fuck up the strategy that badly? From everyone's favorite team to everyone's least favorite team, Alpine. A team that pretty much only has one supporter, that being Jeremy Clarkson of all people. Why? Last year, they were in an intense battle in the constructors between absolutely nobody. No man's land, like, so irrelevant. But, with all of that said, they also sacked Otmar Safnauer last year, their team principal, so there's no real need to change a team principal again now, is there? Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon, decent drivers, except if you remind them about Australia 2023. Yeah, that kind of hurt. So there's no need to change drivers, team principal, but there is a need to change the ownership of the whole team. Just sell the team already. Like, you're so irrelevant, nobody likes you, nobody wants you, nobody supports you. Sell the team. Cadillac really want to join. There's so many teams that aren't on the grid but want to join Formula 1. Surely just selling your team that has 0 fans will do good for the sport. Sorry if you're an Alpine fan, but there's so little of you, I don't think you guys will mind. To be quite honest with you, Red Bull had a they had a perfect or near perfect 2023 season. 2022 was also great, and 2021, it was good in the end. Except for Silverstone, Monza, and you name it. But ignoring the fact that Christian Horner might be the next Epstein, and that might be a change of team principles. Surely, ignoring that, Sergio Perez is clearly the weakest link in the team. He is absolutely shit. And replacing him with any other driver surely would do well. Rumours of Red Bull already offering Alex Albon another contract, and Daniel Ricciardo is just patiently waiting on the sidelines for Checo to make one more mistake, and then he's out. In 2021, Perez's average quali gap was just over 0.5, and only scored 32.5% of all of the points. Not the greatest, eh? 2022, his average quali gap was around 4.5, pulled it back slightly, and he scored 40.2% of all of the points. Pretty respectable for Perez in a Red Bull, right? But then in 2023, the most dominant car ever, the fastest car ever, Max Verstappen was literally leading every race by at least 10 to 15 seconds. Perez, average quali gap of around 0.5, and he only scored 33.3% of all of the points. Keep in mind they had the fastest car. He couldn't even finish on the podium just on a regular basis. He was squabbling against the Hasses in P18. Who does he think he is? And I think it's only fair to group the whole Red Bull family together. So next, let's talk about RB, or VCARB for those who are weird. And for those of you who I can respect, we all know that deep inside it's Toro Rosso. I honestly think they need to promote Daniel Ricciardo as soon as possible.
That tastes like promotion!
Let him drive in the Red Bull, just let him be there. Would this be directly helping the whole RB team, or would it be helping Red Bull and Daniel Ricciardo? Probably the latter. But then if Checo Perez can slot in comfortably into the RB, that is if he still wants to be in the whole Red Bull family, he can do the same job as Ricciardo's doing now, helping out Yuki with all of his many years of experience and experience with Max Verstappen. Help him out a bit. But it all gets a bit dicey if that all does happen, but Yuki is outperforming Perez. Then what? Is Perez now in the drain and they need to find another driver? Then they have Liam Lawson, it's fine. Just promote Daniel Ricciardo. With Perez's shit in the RB, just get Lawson in. Come on, we all want to see Lawson in the car again, don't we? Mercedes aren't going to get rid of Toto Wolff, or Toto Wolff isn't going to leave on his own, knowing that he pretty much owns Mercedes. George Russell, he isn't going anywhere. He's solid, unless we talk about Singapore 2023. Then he's solidly in the wall. Hamilton is obviously leaving, so we can't just say that Hamilton should go, because that's a bit stupid. So I think it's time for Mercedes to change their fucking car.
Change your fucking car.
Shout out to Christian Horner for that one. Got inspiration. But I'm not going to get inspiration from his recent endeavors. Mercedes have had a poor car for the last couple seasons, 2022, 2023, and is 2024 going to be another shit year for them? Well, they have but they have changed their car. But in preseason testing, they weren't a second clear like Max Verstappen. So maybe it's time to copy the Red Bull again. Change your car. Make yourself fast again. How did you go for like 7 years of pure dominance to a P2 and a P3? Now, on paper, that is good, right? But knowing the gap to Red Bull, it isn't acceptable. Mercedes, change your fucking car. Get faster. Steak, also known as Sauber in some countries, so let's just call it Sauber for now. They really need to change both of their drivers. The whole management of the team is fine, for now, because in 2026, Audi are taking over, so there's no real concerns about any of that. But as Audi has said multiple times, they don't want to be a straggler just like, well, Steak or Sauber is now. They don't want to be at the back. They want to be fighting for championships from the get-go. But can Bottas do this? Well, no. He had a championship winning, or nearly winning in 2021, for 5 years, and he only managed 10 wins. Pretty pathetic compared to Hamilton's 4 titles. Yeah, so I don't think Bottas will be the right fit for Audi to contest for world championships. I'm out of breath. Let's not even get started on Zhou. He is nowhere near Bottas's pace right now, and Bottas not being able to fight for championships, Zhou won't be either. So I think both of them, by 2026, they both have to go. Get some new Carlos Sainz. Can Carlos Sainz fight for a championship with Audi in 2026? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. And that's kind of cool, right? Yeah. Aston Martin up next, and I think it's pretty obvious. Mike Crack is doing an amazing job, and so is Fernando Alonso, and the whole team is developing the car phenomenally. I mean, just look at the start of the 2023 season. Wasn't it just all perfect? Well, it was, except for one big outlier, and I'm talking about Lance Stroll. Now, whilst your teammate is battling for P2s, P3s, and pole positions, you're struggling to get into the points? Really? Is that acceptable? The best drivers, the best 20 drivers apparently. I mean, there's many shitters. But still, the best 20 drivers, and you got Lance Stroll in his, what, 8th, 7th season? Struggling to get into the points in, arguably at the time, the second best car on the grid. Pretty pathetic. And it's also pretty pathetic knowing that if there was two Alonsos on the grid, or in Aston Martin, they wouldn't have finished 5th in the Constructors, it would have finished 4th, or maybe even 3rd. But no, you got Lance Stroll, the guy who can't score points or any podiums, knowing that his car obviously can. Gunther Steiner has just been booted out, so there's no real need to be changing team principles if, whatever his name is, he hasn't even had a chance yet. Hulkenberg last year was doing God's work in qualifying, but the car just wasn't there in the race. He was dropping off more than... but the fall off was just crazy. But you see, Magnussen on the other hand, he didn't perform nearly as close to Hulkenberg's pace. Now, am I saying, oh, bring back Mick Schumacher? No, that just wouldn't work. But what I am saying, bring in Ollie Behrman. If he wins the 2024 F2 season, surely there is no harm to bring in a rookie. Knowing that Gunther Steiner has departed, maybe Komatsu can treat a rookie how he's supposed to, not like Mick Schumacher, and absolutely ruin his career and reputation. So swapping in Ollie Behrman for Magnussen, that's surely a good idea. If not, just test it out. But I don't want to see the potential of Ollie Behrman be just gone to waste. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And this is yet again also where it gets kind of dicey, because for the last two teams, Williams and McLaren, I really don't know what there is to change. Let's start off with Williams because I guess there is a couple things that I can think of. Number one, if Logan Sargent doesn't perform in 2024, surely you give him the boot and you bring in Kimi Antonelli. That's only if he has a bad season. I guess that's one change you can do. You're not going to change Alex Albon unless you really want to sell him to cash in. Yeah, he'd sell for a lot at the moment, knowing that Red Bull is literally knocking on your door, and Mercedes might be too if they can't fill that second Mercedes seat. No need to change James Vowles. He's insane. Probably one of the best team principals around at the moment. And the whole Williams development team as well, they're doing fine. Absolutely fine. But the only person that isn't is Logan Sargent. If he has a bad 2024 season, as I said, he's the weakest link. He's gotta go. And lastly, let's talk about McLaren. What do they actually have to do? They're not gonna get rid of anything, I don't think. I think if they just keep on performing as they are and just slowly nibbling away performance from Red Bull, they'll soon be up there. Like, what is there to actually change? The whole development team is doing fine. Zach Brown is also just cooking up some kind of master plan for the whole team. Their new wind tunnel has just been made, and that's all good and fine. Lando, they're not getting rid of Lando. He's just too quick. And Oscar Piastri, his pace ceiling is higher than, I don't know, the Eiffel Tower maybe? He's going to be insane in a couple years once he perfects his race runs. And quali runs, so pretty much everything. Rookie. So what is there actually to change? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think every team should make, or every change each team should make. Make sure to like and subscribe because I don't know why you wouldn't. Hope you enjoyed, have a good and stay fantastic rest of your day, and peace.